There are millions of artists around the world who aspire to make it in the entertainment industry. However, only a select few of them actually make it into the spotlight. Some think they have what it takes, while others know they have what it takes. Lauren J. Reed, an intriguing and multi-talented young woman who lives in Austin, Texas, without a doubt, has what it takes. I had the privilege of getting to know her and her various talents in music, art, and fashion in a sit-down interview. So what does Miss Reed aspire to be? You're about to find out.
Talk dirty to me. Talk dirty to me. Talk dirty to me.
All right, guys, here we are standing outside of Lauren J. Reed's studio in the hills of Austin, Texas. Let's go meet her.
Talk dirty to me.
So I'm just gonna dive right in. Who is Lauren J. Reed and what drives her?
Art and creation. If I'm not creating, I'm not doing me. Any other path is the wrong direction.
So what are your talents?
Well, I play violin, viola, and cello. I started as a cellist at 9 years old, so I've been playing quite a while. I sing as well, and painting. I got my BFA in studio art, so obviously, you know, painting's a big deal to me. I do all genres of art, really, and styling, fashion, and interior design. Really, any art, I'm all about it.
Wow. So how do you manage to balance these three completely different career paths?
Well, I've had people telling me my whole life that I need to just stick to this one thing. Oh, you're so good at this, you're so good at that. And I meet people and they only know me for that one thing. And, you know, you shouldn't waste your time doing these things. I think you're so good at that. And I get that, but it's all part of me.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Lauren, so I'm not the only one with questions around here. We actually have a viewer who sent in a question. Let me just read it off. Her name is Amanda Wilkes from San Marcos, Texas, and she is asking, where does your inspiration come from? And is it different for each talent, or does it all come from the same place?
Well, it definitely all comes from the same place, you know? It's almost like a hole inside yourself. You know, I know a lot of artists, thank God I do now, because it makes me feel better about myself. You have a hole inside you, you feel sad or you feel empty, and I think everybody understands that. And a lot of people don't have hobbies or outlets like that, and they go to movies or they have a girlfriend, boyfriend, you know, that kind of thing. For me, it's all art. Thankfully, I know a lot of amazing people like yourself and other artists in the area. I feed off of that, you know. I get online, I look at pictures. I'm constantly feeding that artistic monster inside of myself. I basically only live on the right side of my brain.
Most artists feel destined from a young age to go into this type of business. What age did you remember feeling that?
I remember I have an older sister, and we would watch MTV, just like everybody else we grew up on, that, you know, pop culture, and I would watch Funky Cole Medina, and I remember her walking in her little boots, her little short boots, and I would get my dad's oversized shirts and try to fashion it into a mini dress and walk around like I was Funky Cole Medina, and I would spend all day painting my room, and I would come out and unveil it all in a big art show and try to sell my pieces for a quarter to our little house guests that would come over, and I was always like this. I popped out just like this. My mom, my dad, my sister, all of them, they deserve awards. Really.
That's so funny. All right, so Austin, Texas. Why Austin?
This is my home. This is where my people are. And Austin's changing a lot. You know, it's growing massively. And that's good and bad, but one of the good things is that the arts have just really expanded. So I'm excited about that. You know, I get to be a part of it. So Austin's really my home, but I do plan to travel a lot for work in 2014.
Awesome. So having so many talents, I'm sure it could be kind of hard to balance a social life. AKA, are you single?
Well, inquiring minds want to know, don't they? I am single. I'm looking for that Mr. Right, you know. However, I am very, very, very focused this year. So Mr. Right now, you know, is going to have to really be on their game.
Okay. So if a zombie apocalypse were to happen tomorrow, what would your weapon of choice be?
AK-47, endless ammo.
Okay. So I'm sure you get tired after long days of work. How do you wind down? Anything particular that you do?
I do more of my work. I mean, I work nonstop until I'm absolutely exhausted. And sometimes, you know, I work in this space, so I'm constantly moving things. This will look completely different probably in 4 hours because I'm gonna start working on a new piece and I'm gonna move everything, I'm gonna paint on the wall. Like, I'm constantly working it. Now, sometimes I'll just fall asleep on this chair looking at it, and I'll wake up and I'll get up at 4 and start going again. And really that is how I wind down.
So we live in a social media focused world. I kind of want to know, what's the app that you use the most?
Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram and Facebook.
Like this, baby.
Why those two?
Love them. First of all, oh, you know, Facebook, those are the people you know, mostly. Instagram, which is my all-time fave. That is my favorite app ever invented because you really get to see in other people's lives. Normal people living in Russia. Oh, here's Bali. Here are these pics, you know. And it's different than Google. There's a personal touch. I've got to get in connections with people that I never would have gotten to, you know, big name stylists, big artists, things like that. Now I'm on their radar and vice versa. You know, I could meet them in a club downtown, you know.
Definitely. So if you and Miley Cyrus were to have a hangout, what would y'all do and where would y'all go?
We'd have to work on her look a bit. And once I get her, you know, fixed up, we would definitely go dancing. But I'd have to give her a few tips about her twerking, how to make the best of her shape, you know, with her movements. But we'd high five on her whole media extravaganza. That was brilliant. I don't care if you look like, you know, you're some strange, deranged cartoon character. I'm with it. You know, just maybe don't pose with me like that. Just kidding. Love you, Miley. Your tone is great. I love your voice.
As a creative, what gets your creative juices flowing? How does the magic happen?
You know, I think the most important thing is doing. If I can get up there and start being motivated, you know, it'll just go. It'll just go and go and go. I love it. It's what I do. It's who I am. So once I start, I don't stop. I become really obsessed.
Well, that concludes the interview, Lauren. Thank you so much for joining us and
Thank you.
sharing your story and the many talents that you have with us
Well,
today.
thank you so much for choosing me. I'm so flattered.
Yeah, so before we end, is there any last words that you'd like to tell our audience?
Yes, just think of me. I'm Lauren J. Reed. That's with 2 E's on every social network. I have Looks by Lauren J. I have Lauren Art. And I have Lauren J Music. So those are my 3 companies. Get at me for all your needs.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lauren.
Thank you.
As you can see, we've chosen quite a young woman to be our very first Talent of the Month for January. Lauren is one of the many artists making their way into the entertainment world, but only a few will make it, as well as to be able to share their story through Aspire Talent. So, who's in mind for February? We'll see. Until then, this is Roman Rispy with Aspire Talent and Promotions.
I'm Lauren J. Reed, and I aspire to be better every day.